What if the reason you've always felt behind is because your life was never meant to follow everyone else's timeline? Have you ever looked around and wondered how everyone else seemed to know exactly where they were going? They chose careers, built relationships, bought houses, and moved forward with confidence that looked effortless. Meanwhile, you kept changing direction. You questioned every decision. You started over again and again. Some days it felt like life had forgotten about you. Then came the thought you never wanted to admit. Maybe I'm wasting my life. But Carl Jung believed something completely different. He believed some people aren't meant to succeed early. They're meant to become someone first. While most people build an identity by adapting to the world around them, a rare few spend years trying to discover who they really are before building anything at all. Jung called this individuation the lifelong process of becoming your true self. And if you've always felt late, confused, or out of place, this idea might explain your entire life. The first reason is that your inner world is stronger than the outer world. Most people absorb the values of family, friends, and society without questioning them. They follow familiar paths because those paths feel safe. But your mind works differently. You question everything. Your emotions run deeper. Your intuition constantly tells you when something doesn't feel right, even if everyone else seems comfortable. Jung believed this happens when the unconscious mind is unusually active. Instead of simply adapting, you keep searching for something authentic. That's why choosing a career, committing to relationships, or defining your identity often feels painfully difficult. It isn't because you're indecisive. It's because your mind refuses to build a life that doesn't belong to you. From the outside, people see hesitation. From the inside, it feels like suffocation. Jung warned that forcing this kind of person into an identity too early doesn't create success. It creates a life that eventually falls apart because it was built on someone else's expectations. Your delay wasn't weakness, it was protection. The second reason is that what looks like stagnation is actually incubation. Watching other people move ahead can be painful. They build careers, start families, and collect achievements while you feel like you're standing still. But Jung believed something invisible is happening. While others build an outer life, you build an inner one. You ask questions most people spend decades avoiding. Who am I without other people's expectations? What part of my life is truly mine? What am I pretending to be just to belong? Those questions don't give quick answers. They slow you down, but they also stop you from building a life you'll one day regret. Many people who succeed early eventually realize they've spent years climbing the wrong mountain. You avoided that trap because your mind refused to settle for borrowed dreams. Because you refused borrowed dreams, you paid a different price. You paid it early through uncertainty, loneliness, and self-doubt. But that struggle was shaping something most people never build, a life that actually fits who you are. The third reason is that you see through things other people need to believe. From a young age, you noticed the gap between what people said and what they meant. You saw people chasing approval instead of purpose, status instead of fulfillment, and success that looked impressive but felt empty. Jung believed greater awareness often brings greater suffering because once you see through an illusion, you can't pretend it still exists. That's why fitting in has always felt difficult. How do you compete for things you don't truly value? How do you chase a life that already feels empty before you've even lived it? People mistake this as laziness or lack of ambition. In reality, your mind is protecting your integrity. It refuses to trade authenticity for acceptance. The fourth reason is that loneliness isn't your punishment, it's your classroom. For this personality, solitude isn't an accident. It's part of development. Shallow relationships feel more exhausting than being alone. You can sit in a crowded room and still feel completely unseen because the conversations never reach the depth you're searching for. This becomes the most dangerous stage because loneliness tempts you to betray yourself. You begin thinking, maybe if I become who they want me to be, I won't feel so alone. Jung warned that abandoning your true self creates a shadow that follows you for life. But if you endure that lonely season without giving yourself away, something remarkable begins to happen. You stop asking the world who you should become. You begin listening to yourself instead. Then comes the shift. It rarely happens overnight. There isn't a dramatic breakthrough. One day, you simply notice that comparison no longer controls you. You stop chasing other people's timelines because you finally understand they were never yours. Clarity quietly replaces confusion. Self-trust replaces self-doubt. You stop asking, "Am I behind?" and start asking, "Am I becoming who I'm meant to be?" That single question changes everything. Your decisions become calmer because they're guided by alignment instead of fear. Your words carry weight because they're no longer trying to impress anyone. People notice something different. You simply become more authentic. Jung believed this is when individuation truly begins, when your outer life finally reflects your inner truth. The years that looked wasted were preparing you for a life built on authenticity. So if you've always felt late, remember this. Maybe you weren't falling behind. Maybe you were growing where nobody could see. Some people bloom early. Others grow roots first. If this video spoke to you, subscribe to Teeh Psyche for more hidden psychology every week, and tell me in the comments. Have you ever felt behind in life only to realize you were simply growing differently?